Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the EUphoria podcast, just ahead of the start of our best of three segment for the summer split. I'm Drakos, joined by Caedrel. Our two special guests for the day, none other than the dynamic mid-jungle duo of the Mad Lions. Here together, which is crazy because you guys hate each other, I've heard. Nisqy and Elyoya. How can
you just let it to breathe.
Just let it breathe. Just let it breathe. Let's let all of the people at home
Nisqy, stop smiling.
let the tension build. You know, they're like, oh my god. This is the part of the podcast where you punch each other. And we say
get
mean
clickbait.
things, and we get clickbait. No, let's just get that out of the way first. You guys don't hate each other, I assume.
I mean,
Shocker.
I didn't know he was coming today. I would not have come.
We actually sent separate cabs. So
we asked both separately as well on separate times to get them here.
Yeah. So obviously big break week, and we could talk a little bit about the week upcoming. But first and foremost, there's this huge amount of drama at MSI, facial expressions, a lot of European fans scrambling for reasons or things to be mad at that they could understand.
And they think that they're part of everything.
And they could understand Nisqy's smile. And they decided it was that, and they pitted you guys against each other. And it was obviously a very stressful and heated time, but seems like you guys are good. Was there during that time where you guys fired up, were there a lot of conflicts in the team, or was it much more smooth sailing than people thought from the outside?
No, there was never any conflict between personal. I mean, there were problems during MSI that it was related to our practice, but it was not we hated each other or we were in bad terms with anyone between each other. But yeah, I mean, people just wanted some drama and they created it.
I feel like people just read your body language and then they just draw a conclusion. They don't know anything behind the scenes. They don't know anything about the relationship. They just see one small thing. You don't gank mid, or you don't help him get a red buff. They hate each other.
I mean, that's the problem, I think, of watching League. It's that I think Yamato said it before a lot, actually, when we were in Fnatic. He was people assume things of the team, but they have no clue what's going on behind the scenes. No clue what's going on, communication and how people feel, if they're happy, if they're good mentally, all that stuff. Which also touched, I think, on MSI, where, I mean, we were getting smacked, for example, in scrims. Our motivation was high and stuff, but our confidence was dropped like crazy, for example, after the T1 series, and we didn't necessarily feel like a team. Oh, there was a lot of problems, right? But people just see your gameplay and how you react to it, kind of.
Yeah.
And I think it doesn't help that you guys have such big fan bases domestically. You're huge in the Spanish scene, you're huge in the French scene, and so as much as you guys don't have a conflict, your fan bases were going crazy at each other.
They're just ready to go to war.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is that I think there's already a rivalry between France and Spain.
Yeah.
And I feel we're just in the
middle.
middle.
It's Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, we're in the middle of it, we're both playing together and both hate each other.
The families are no.
Yeah, it's
unacceptable.
I'm just saying I wish we were in American wrestling WWE style. We could have resolved it with someone coming out of nowhere with a steel chair. Ebai could have come in and just bam, ram jammed Nisqy in the back of the head. Just saying.
How crazy would that be, actually? Imagine.
Kameto comes in from the top rope.
Kameto comes, he elbows me.
Ebai from the top rope, boom. Just insane WWE fight.
In the middle of T1 series, While we're
on the side while you're losing.
16 minutes with
Ebai,
ending
runs
us.
by, high fives Faker, and just just plows into Nisqy.
Meanwhile, Chasey watching from the side, what is going on?
Kameto runs in the steel chair. I can see it all.
I'm just saying.
Solves all the problems.
This is what I'll say is I just think that we either need to take it down a notch in the drama, or we need to go up a notch.
We can't just linger.
Actually, now that you saw this theory, I like it.
We have been seeing a lot of streamer boxing matches.
True, actually, that's
what
true.
If it's hey, it's the LEC season finals. It's you guys versus an Asian team, whoever T1. You're going to box for 15 minutes, 5v5, and then you're going to play League.
We do boxing league. I mean, we win for sure.
You win for sure?
I think we just train the boxing part. We abandon the league part.
Just get a good right hand, and it doesn't matter if you're gold.
We just focus on the job,
We just brought in this new. You're we just brought in this new top laner. He's some guy who's never played League in his life. You boosted him
just
to
a
D3.
mountain from Game of Thrones.
Can I please ask for not T1? Honor is Jack, by the way. I don't want to.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Wait, I forgot. We're already behind the meta. They're already ready for League.
Honor has already been preparing for this. Have you guys mentioned it?
We need Wunder. That's who we need. Wunder would come in and just
Wonder's the mountain.
slam dunk him.
He's just huge.
Yeah.
He's got the reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about owner. I'm a little concerned that we're already behind in the league
I'm
boxing.
already behind for sure.
Yeah.
But hey, give me like 2 months. I'm down. I'm ready to fight him.
Yeah.
But it's only him. If I have to face Canyon, Kanabi, I'm fine with them, you know?
I feel like influencers out there.
Someone's going to get just that section of the clip and they're going to be like, Elyoya is so cocky. And they're like, we're talking about boxing him, which also may be still confident. But hey.
It's like Ibai had the La Velada del Año.
Yeah.
But now you just do it for league boxing instead, which like Ludwig did with chess boxing.
Yeah, exactly. The
Just
chess
like
boxing.
a crossover with like nationalities representing Spain, Elyoya representing Belgium,
actually.
Nisqy, and then boom, just go. Box.
Actually, we do
Actually,
2v2,
good
and
idea.
in the middle of the fight, like we fight each other, you know, to feed a bit more the drama.
Yeah.
And like Ibai comes and hits.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like the undercard, and then Ibai Kameto is like the overcard.
I'm just saying, Spanish and French fans, we can all unite together over the idea of making this happen, at least.
Yeah. Or we could all unite together
But
in
the thing
international and like support
Actually,
EU.
I think the rivalry is good between France and Spain.
Yeah.
I actually, in a way, like it because it gives like this point, you know, to like to the games. For example, when we won against BDS.
Oh, the French fans, they didn't like that.
You're just kind of in the middle.
They're
Like,
For example, like,
Mom and Dad are fighting.
I mean, it was fun for me because I could tweet like, I'm not gonna give the LEC to 3 French people, and that for me was funny, you know.
Yeah.
I have nothing against them, but that just keeps the rivalry going, and I think this rivalry, it's also like really good to have this, like in football, it just gives a lot of hype, and I think LEC is missing a bit of that, and it comes mostly from players. I think players are like, in a way, too nice, you know, and Wunder was doing a really great job of feeding all of these
Wonder talked a lot of
hype
shit.
drama.
Like
Yeah.
Perks used to as well
Yeah.
when he was not washed.
Wow. Oh, hitting him dirty. When
I'm not the cocky one.
loaded
when he auto qualifies outside of his own control to season finals, you're gonna regret those words,
I
buddy.
mean, I said players are kind of like boring now, so I had to, you know.
It's good actually. Nisqy was not only did he like preface it by saying there's not enough drama, he started drama.
I feel like you gotta punch up though, Nisqy. You gotta punch like you're this man literally finished 10th. You're taking the easiest shot in the league right
That's
now.
the rules, huh?
You're not even gonna play him. Take some shots at XL, bro.
It's like Elyoya's taking on BDS. Are you taking on Heretics or Koi? Who are we stepping up to fight?
You already chose Perks. He's your one player, but team?
I mean, I would pick on Koi, easy.
Pick on Koi. Heretics
Yeah.
has Flag Kids, so they have a Spanish player.
True. Wait, does Koi have a Spanish player?
No. I think, is there...
They have
is it
Trimby
just
who
you and
speaks
Flag Kid?
Spanish.
It is just you and Flag Kid as the Spanish players, isn't it?
Razor.
And
And
Razor. Oh, yeah, of
Oscarinin.
course.
And
Oscarinin. Like,
Oh my god.
What?
you watch LEC?
I was thinking of Mithy. I
You're
was like, where's
so
Mithy?
fake Spanish it hurts right now,
Yeah.
Mark.
I was like,
Can't
where's
even keep
Mithy?
track, bro.
But I did learn that he grew up in Valencia, Elyoya.
Mhm.
And I grew up in Alicante, so we were like neighbors.
That means nothing. I'm
We were like-
American.
Yeah,
too.
you
Bro, I'm gonna. I can't even. I
Think it
I
is
know.
way.
Can you name all 50 state capitals in America? I didn't think so.
All right, let's
See,
stop. You know what?
my-
We got time. Let's stop.
That
No.
means nothing to me.
Let me
They're
explain
close to each other.
Here's the East Coast.
You're using
One
hand
is there
signatures
and
in a
one is there.
podcast. They're next to
Oh
each
yeah,
other.
it's an hour away. There you go for people in podcast land.
Anyway, so MSI, difficult time, but it feels like you guys recovered, came in pretty solid in the first few weeks. I was nervous because we were talking to Mac, and Mac was like, scrims.
Yeah.
You know, we're just going to see what happens. But then you guys won of all of your early games. And I think you guys kind of just, it felt like you guys were chilling, going late, team fighting. All these teams around you are like throwing weird curveballs at you, trying to do crazy shit. And you guys were just like picking up win after win after win. What was the early season like for you guys?
Well, scrims have never been our strongest,
I-
our strength.
I want to let you answer this question, but I also want to add a lot of teams when they talk about Mad Lions scrims, they're like, oof, it's rough. Like Yamato was like, scrimming Mad Lions. If you look at them in scrims and look at them on stage, completely different team.
Yeah.
Normally it's the opposite. Normally you're good in scrims and then you grief on stage.
I don't know.
How did that happen?
I really don't know. Like, I actually don't. I'm not sure. Like, I mean, we've tried everything to like be as good as we are on stage, but on scrims, it doesn't work.
What
I'm not sure why.
What makes them so bad? Is there one specific thing? Is it just complete chaos? Like for people who don't, because we just say bad scrims, but that doesn't mean a lot to
No,
the
yeah,
audience,
yeah.
right? Is it like, are you guys way more aggressive? Are you way less aggressive? Are you just doing dumb shit mechanically? Like what is actually making these scrims so terrible?
I mean, it's a mix of everything, kind of, I think. I think one is like the commitment, I feel like, is different no matter what. Even if you say, yeah, I will give my 100% in scrims and I will do as much as I do on stage.
Yeah.
When you play on stage, it's not the same feeling as when you play practice. So like your communication, your play in general is just different, I feel like. And to be fair, I feel like the only team that I've scrimmed that mimicked completely scrims to stage was actually T1. And probably some other teams before as well. But latest one was T1, where they would play exactly the same. And I was like, how do they do this? You know, like we've stretched for so hard, but we can't. And I think that's what makes them also so good as a team, because they just practice everything in practice and then they go on stage and it's the same thing.
Have you ever been on a team where you're better in scrims than on stage? So like the other way around?
I don't think so, actually.
Interesting. Do you think you've been on a team with the other way around?
No.
Because often some teams, like, for example, Discipline's a good example, Vitality, everyone was saying, they're good in scrims. Like, they're actually pretty decent, but then they're 10th, right?
Oh, actually, in C9, when we didn't qualify for Worlds, we were winning every single scrim, but then we were losing on stage.
Yeah, it's interesting. I always wonder what the fix is for those kind of problems.
I mean, it's hard because it's so much of it is mental, right? Like you talked about it. Like no matter how much you tell someone this is serious, blah blah blah, like it's different when there's a crowd, when there's actual meaningful stakes. Like you can't. It's really hard to fake that part. Like if me and you queue up for a game, right now, which would be god awful. Like, who cares? It's like the difference of a normal game and a ranked game for people at home. If you're a ranked player and you queue up for a normal game, you don't give a shit at all. And so it's almost like that gap at a professional level.
Yeah, but also like when you queue the normal, you intentionally don't give a.
So
like you troll a bit, but it's a similar wavelength without the intention, and it's still happening.
But if your friend was like, take this normal game really serious, let's sweat for it. The only time you do it would be like as a joke.
Yeah.
Just to try to win in 15 minutes. Like you couldn't do that 10 times a day, every day.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. It's hard. I think I had the same thing. I don't know why. Like when we would scrim our academy team, I would just be like, I would just run it down. Yeah. And everyone would be like, can we try hard? And I'm like, I'm trying. Like really, like I'm trying my best. I just can't win. I don't know. I don't get it.
How the hell do you like pick what to work on then? Like if your practice is a hot mess, like how do you know how you're going to show up on stage? Like how do you guys practice?
We're like dumbfounded.
What is the focus? And obviously, like when you say a scrim is bad, like it can be, I'm sure that there are better scrims and there are worse scrims, right? It's not just like a dumpster fire all the time. I'm sure there are bad days and good days, but like that has to hurt when it comes to knowing what level you're going to play at on on stage.
Oh no, yeah, it for sure hurts, but I mean, we still have some goals that coaches set on like every day, what to work on, even if things go wrong, and we try to just focus on those. And like then, like each one of the players then goes and review his own individual stuff, and like then we learn we know what we did wrong. So yeah, I think even though it's bad, we still have like this one objective that we try to do as best as we can.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you guys like have that structure and direction. Do you feel the team improving? Because we see peaks and troughs, I think, this year with Mad Lions. You know, obviously you guys came back swinging to get the run to beat BDS in the finals. The MSI was pretty hard. And then, boom, first few weeks are good. Week 3, boom, right back down. Like, do you feel like, because we see the highs and the lows very frequently. I don't feel like we get a very consistent read on you guys. Do you guys feel like you're progressing this year? Do you guys feel like, can you feel the improvement week to week?
I mean, I think we're doing better now than we used to do like 2 weeks ago. Probably. I would assume so, because I also think one thing that didn't come into my mind, or like that people don't really talk about, is that week 2 and week 3, I think with our first week we secured playoffs or something with like 4-0. And even though everyone can say, yeah, you're playing to win and whatnot, I feel like on your mental, if the games don't matter much, it's harder to give it your all, kinda. Because I'm sure if the games, I guess, Heretics and like BDS, if it was like you guys either win or you're out of playoffs, I'm sure we probably would have won, you know, in my opinion. Just because there's that mental edge that you get and that like fire that sparkles in you. And yeah, that was my point.
It seems like this is frustrating for you guys because you have that situation after week 1 where you're already locked for groups and you're already locked for season finals because of your performance in springs. Like if you're a team that struggles to like take things as seriously if there's not real stakes, this has to be kind of a nightmare split for you.
I mean, that's I don't know how my team feels about it, but that's my opinion, That's how I think and how I feel about the situation. But maybe for Elyoya, it doesn't matter. He wants to win every game, for example, right? But that's my feeling about it.
Yeah. Do you struggle, Elyoya, when we first had you on the podcast forever ago, I think you were a call-in guest back in the pandemic, you talked so much about like, you had a big, huge growth mindset. And you talked about like learning from every opponent, from every game possible, watching Canyon VODs or whatever at the time. Do you hold on to that mindset despite like the sketch? Are you always trying to learn, like no matter how sloppy the scrim is, or are you always trying to be like, ooh, what can I learn from this situation?
Yeah. As you said, it's a nightmare. This situation. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think like I try to take every game as if it was the most important game of my life. Like even scrims, I try to give my all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard when when like not everyone is in this page,
Yeah.
Because for some people it doesn't work and they just work better with some other ways,
Yeah.
So it's hard to have this, and that's why I've been so frustrated on like why don't we win scrims? Like what is going on? Like I'm giving my best, but am I not good enough? What is going on? Like because then on stage it's so much easier to play. Like what's the difference? And I've been trying to find it. I mean, we've been trying to find it. Sorry. And it's a nightmare because I haven't found the solution yet.
And it's been ages. Did you notice it different in internationals when you scrim like Asian teams, or was everyone switched on?
I mean, on international, we lose scrims, we win. We lose officials. So it's not
so in internationals, it's just everything's a problem.
The nightmare is there, I don't need to like look for the solution because the nightmare is just.
So you're telling me like domestically you see the light, but when you get to internationals, it's just you can't see
it's
anything.
a tunnel, I'm just on the tunnel. I need to like go for like this 1 month of tunnel until I see the light again and LEC. No, I mean, there is still light. Like against T1, we were like 5k up, 7k up, and it mattered like of nothing, But so there is that light, and it's something that has happened before. Like against DRX, the world champions in 2022 in play-ins, we were winning the game. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but we were gold ahead of them with my Velvet. Maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking Velvet. I was like, you played a lot of Velvet.
That was my Velvet. And we were really close of winning them also, but again, we lost. So each time we are getting, we are getting closer to beating these Asian teams. So there is that light. But obviously, there is a lot of frustration, even in international events, when it comes to practice, because I know we can do much better than what we do in practice. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, why are we not able to replicate what we do on stage to replicate it here? Like, what's the problem?
Is there like because you guys to me are like a very heavy best of 5 team. Like in best of 1s, the inconsistency hurts, but in best of 5s, at least you have 5 games to be inconsistent or consistent. So it's often like a 3-2 sometimes. When you're in that series against T1, I don't know how many times you've been asked this question, but when in that game 1, when you were 5-6k gold up, you lost, then the next game was even worse, and the next game was even worse. Did like things just collapse in that series?
Well, I mean, you can answer.
I mean, I think the team kind of got hit with like the, I guess, confidence, or like, I don't know, you can call it, because when you're ahead and you expect to win a game, but then you don't, then it's like, oh, like, what? Like, if you can't win this game, like,
how can
And then game 2, I think was that the stomp? I think that was the stomp.
No,
right?
no, third.
Maybe third was the stomp. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, game 2 was also kind of rough, I believe. I don't actually remember the games. I've deleted them from my memory. But yeah, I mean, usually we were also like a lot of confidence-based team, I would say. Like, I think me and Hilly and probably you as well is like, we're very confident-based. Like, if we're confident, then we'll smack their things. And if we're not, then we play
their thing
way worse.
Because the reason I asked was like, in your Mad BDS series in game 2, I remember you guys were like up, and then Karsi like eat forward on S11 and died, and then you lost the game that was won, and you were on match point, and I was like, they came back from that. But then against T1, it was like one game, boom, And I was kind of like, that momentum just shift is just.
And I think the big difference was that against playing BDS, like, we could see that they were not good.
We knew that we're better, kind of.
Yeah, we know that we were. Like, if we would just play to our standards, that we would beat them, like, easily on a 3-0, and it's what we showed at the end. Like,
you had something to fall back on. Like, even if Karsi makes a mistake or something goes wrong in a game, you like at the end of the day, you fundamentally just believe that you were the better team.
And against T1, I would say after first game, I was really confident because we were so close of beating them. I was really confident on that we could win them, but game 2 hit really hard. And then game 3 was just
Yeah, it was just a nightmare again.
Do you?
the nightmare again.
I mean, and again, I know we're talking a lot about public perspective today, which isn't. I don't want to spend too much more time here, and not too much more time on international either, because we got a lot of stuff happening domestically. But there's obviously Mad Lions International is like people hate you guys. Like, and I just want does that add to the pressure here? Like when you lose that game to T1, that first game, like do you think about that? Are you guys able to push that stuff out of your head completely and just take it in stride? Because to me, like, I feel like people are waiting on you to fail every time you guys go international. Does that fuck with your heads at all when it comes to playing internationally? Or are you guys able to push that aside?
I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter because I feel like every single team, every single player that goes to international from Europe, people just wait for them to fail and then they will shit on them. And even, for example, like people thought we wouldn't make MSI, or that if we would make it, it would be like thanks to G2, for example.
Or like points, and you guys wouldn't earn it, blah, blah,
but
blah.
Then I'm always of that thing where like, I mean, sure, maybe it won't feel good to go to MSI if G2 brings us there, right? But we earned that right to go there, right? Like, well, why isn't another team that much at like 100 points or whatever it was? But when you're in the middle of a series, it doesn't matter. I think public perception or what, you don't think of that. At least for me, I'm just
That's good.
playing my game, doing my thing. And if we win, we win. If we lose, it really sucks, but we have to keep going, you know? And yeah, I don't think our team cares much actually about like public. I don't think Shazy cares. Don't think Karzi cares. Healy doesn't give up.
Yeah, Hilly's been around forever, bro. Hilly.
And me, we actually don't care either. So like, yeah, we just do what's best for the team and
that makes me super happy because I think that you guys obviously like every time it comes to international qualification, and you guys, to be fair, like if people want to be frustrated because of the international performance, sure, but international qualification, it's not even on you. It's literally a format thing every time. Yeah. But you guys, it's like,
it's your fault that you made this
potential flaw in the format. Mad Lions got in again. Who are we mad at? Mad Lions. You know, like, sorry, Phil, I'm swearing a bunch. I got to edit all those out. So I always find that like that's kind of annoying to me, is that people put the blame on you guys because you're just playing your game. You're just trying to win. But I'm glad to hear that doesn't affect you that much, because it is something that like we see every single time. We saw it in spring. We'll see what happens in the season finals. I think we're out of loopholes or ways to qualify for Worlds without winning a best of 5 100% now. So I believe that if you make it, you will have won a best of 5.
They'll always find a way.
They'll always find a way. Someone else will get sick and the Mad Lions will go to Worlds. Yeah. Someone's visas won't go through and the Mad Lions will go to Worlds. You'll always find a way.
But if it happens a third time, that would be so. I just want it. That would be so funny.
If it happens a third, he will blame us too. Like from his Twitter,
it's your fault again. I always knew it was you.
That's so funny. I would be so sad if, like, let's say, God forbid, you guys can't make top 4, and then some teams like can't get any of their visas cleared, and Mad Lions have to go to Worlds. That would be not funny for you, but funny for.
Nah, it would be funny for us. Yeah. Don't worry.
Sad for the team.
The memes are great. I can see it already.
The
like
memes
at the
are
embassy,
too
it's
good.
Elyoya checking their passports, and it's like,
Sorry, buddy, you're not allowed into Korea. Oh my god,
that would be funny.
Anyway, looking forward. Obviously, you guys were on the losing streak. You talked about it, but are you feeling caudent now as we shift to best of 3? Caedrel talked about you guys as a best of 5 team, best of 3, not a best of 5, but you just still have some more time to figure it out. First opponent going up against Excel. They're on a big surging win streak. The XL Miracle Run, or is it Schalke? It's hard to keep track when so many of the pieces are the same. Yeah, how do you guys feel about the matchup versus XL? You guys feeling optimistic?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as one game finishes, I'm always feeling confident coming into the next game. It doesn't matter if it's XL, if it's G2, if it's T1. I'm always gonna come knowing that I'm gonna win them. And yeah, I'm really confident coming into this BO3, even though we haven't shown a good performance. I know we're capable of playing much better than what we did. And I know we're a better team than anyone else in this league. So I'm confident that we're going to win.
Ooh, than anyone else in this league. Thank you. I like that. I like that confidence. Clip it. Clip it.
The intro. Are you scared of XL's upswing? I know you're not scared. Probably not the right word to use. But like, has XL's upswing in stage surprised you at all?
It has surprised me, yeah. I think they are playing better than I expected them. But I don't think they are playing good League of Legends, if I'm honest. I don't think they are like even if we lose against them, even if that happens, which I don't think it will, like it will be because we are both we are playing worse than you. It's not because you guys are playing really great League of Legends. I think we will probably just be playing worse League of Legends than you, or that's how I think. Yeah, I don't think they have shown anything that makes me believe that they are really good.
What do you think that they have shown? I mean, I don't want you guys to have to give away any strats, but like, what do you think that they have done well to make it this far, to find these wins? Is it just as you highlighted, like other teams struggling, or what are they actually doing well? Do you think?
I mean, I think they just found their play style kind of, and they just stick to it. Like, it's way easier to play one style over 9 games, but rather than like trying 7 different styles, like G2 style usually. And I feel like coming to playoffs, you kind of know what they're good at. So if you play around that, it should be fine. And I think prepping against Excel is kind of easier than like prepping against, I don't know, BDS or G2 or like...
Because they're a lot more easy to read.
Yeah, because I mean, it's kind of obvious what they're good at. So then you choose your poison of like how you want to beat them, right? And yeah, I think we're well prepared. So hopefully it pays off.
Yeah, I feel like that optimism is fair. I think we've seen a lot of teams go on streaks here domestically with using like one kind of style overall. BDS did it in spring.
I mean, BDS was the same as well.
Yeah, BDS, the
BDS
crowning,
was
scaling.
so crazy to me. Like, I still looking back, I'm like, wow, they really one style all the way to match point of winning a finals. Like,
But then, for example, in finals, they kind of, I mean, I won't say figured it out, right? But for example, we kind of knew that Adam had to do his thing to win the games, right? On his champs, and then we just kind of banned him out.
Do you think they're still on the same style and everyone's just kind of like, that's the reason they're dropping? Or is it just like not teams have figured them out, or is the meta shifted away from that style? Or because BDS was like first place, they won everything up until that last game, and then they just got figured out. Boom! Now they're dropping in the table.
And I think they're just playing worse in general. I think just their players have been playing worse. Yeah. Also, I mean, I think people kind of figured them out, and I don't think they've changed since last split. I would say they're kind of similar. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Talking about BDS, obviously going up against Team Heretics. Any thoughts on the matchup there? Team Heretics, like I feel like right now the league is really hard for me to read in terms of who's actually good. Fnatic, if you guys weren't on a 5-game losing streak, I'd say you, but I don't know how much faith I can put in you guys. But other than Fnatic and G2, I feel like every single team has had absolute disaster games in best of one. Like no one has been super, super convincing. So it's hard for me to read. But what are your guys' thoughts on Team Heretics BDS? Do you think one of these teams is clearly better?
No, I'm like you. I think both of them have shown really good performances either in the past or now. And I'm not sure. Like I think whoever has a good day on that day will win, because I know BDS, as Nisqy said, right now they are not playing so good, but I know they are better than what Heretics is doing. I think at least. But at the same time, Heretics has been playing pretty well, like they have shown some good League of Legends. So I really don't know who will come winning on that series. I think it's whoever has a good day will just win it, will take it.
Yeah, VTO has really changed that team. It's crazy to see that they're like performing so well.
I mean, credit to VTO. Obviously had a big Misfit split, and then kind of like a lot of Excel just was doing nothing. Don't know how. I'm trying to figure out the nice way to say that. Doing nothing, struggling.
10th, third though, not bad for Excel.
Yanko's the real victor of this season, though, because having a mid laner who's a little bit more competitive there, as Ruby was losing most lanes was losing most lanes. We'll just leave it at that. It's like doing well. I don't know how strong. What do you, Mark? You're the pundit here. You're the completely non-biased third party.
Yeah.
So like, who do you actually think is stronger in this matchup?
I would say Heretics.
Who are you predicting?
I would say Heretics, yeah. I think BDS is even like the game that they were playing against Fnatic that they almost won, where like Adam got that triple kill bot.
Oh yeah.
If that doesn't happen, the game's over. I feel like they have those moments where the game is won, but then something random might happen, and now the game's randomly lost for no reason. But I also feel like those random things happening to give them the chance to win is because teams are just misplaying and making really big mistakes that shouldn't happen. So our league right now is just
sloppy.
It's really, really sloppy.
It's
kind of worrying because like this is summer and the teams are like this, and these are the things where you're like, if it's spring or winter, you're like, they'll fix it later on. And luckily we have the season finals, which is like the top 6 will start to level up, I hope.
All best of 5s.
But do you see the same thing in scrims? As much as you talk about like your scrims being weak or like you struggling in scrims, are other teams just struggling too? Like, is everyone just in a drought right now and it's just G2 Fnatic kind of doing well in scrims?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any team, I would say, maybe except G2, is looking like strong. I mean, we haven't scrimmed G2 that much actually, but I think most teams kind of struggle. Yeah, they don't play to the level of that they play on stage, I would say.
Yeah.
And then coming back to BDS Heretics, actually, I actually think BDS will win just because I think Adam against Evie. I think Adam should have the upper hand. And
That's a pretty good point. That's a strong argument. Wow, so that's a very 2-word argument. Adam, Evie, got it. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I believe so at least. I know my boy Adam, and I think he's very hungry now, and they've been doing bad as well. So I think this is kind of the redemption arc, I guess, of BDS.
Yeah.
That should start, hopefully, for them. And
I mean, it's going to be curious to see if they can just do a lot of the similar stuff on the patch where Adam can do Adam things and they're free to...
It's just a verb now, isn't it? He's adaming.
Adaming. I mean, it means so many things. It can mean dropping waves to roam mid. It can mean picking psycho picks and just being under their tower the entire game. Like,
Do you think they're gonna have a level 1? You know, they did the Scion thing, which they maybe like looked at T1 Academy, I think it was, or whatever. Do you think they're gonna have another level 1 where like something degenerate's gonna happen, where it's like...
I mean, yeah, BDS loves doing cheesy level 1s, I would say.
That's probably the scouting, isn't it, Elyoya? Where it's like Max just like level 1. I want 5 wards.
I can tell you. Actually, I can tell you that. I mean, this is a funny story because, like, on the previous split, when we were screaming them, they didn't expect us. Like, this was the final week, right? When we had to play like 3 BO5s. It was we had to play G2, we had to play Vitality, and we had to play BDS. So we were screaming BDS because BDS didn't expect us to make it through. And since they didn't expect us to make it through, they were cheesing level 1 really hard.
Oh, so when you got to the finals, you were like, well...
I mean, I can tell you, out of 6 games, I think I got cheesed maybe 5.5. The half is because I caught him on the 6th one, you know? On the 6th one, I could catch him.
And was that the 6th game as well?
Yeah, it was. Like, I can, for sure, I got cheesed on like 4 games, I remember, maybe the 5. It was a hell, those games. Like, every level 1, they had something different. And then when we made it to the finals, I was like, hey, bring it on, you know? Come with your cheeses now. Like, I have all prepared. Like, just come at me. Guys, come and do it.
Oh
and
my God.
Obviously couldn't.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
Does Elyoya get tilted in comms when he gets cheesed?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like you're a guy who's like, I will learn from the greats. I will learn how to play a beautiful game of League of Legends.
The pathing gods have
and then
blessed
there's
me.
like a random guy in your jungle ruining your perfect
I can't
vision.
even tell you the level 1 because he has never done it yet, so I can't tell you what he did, you know? I want to like leave it for him, so maybe he does it, you know? Like,
Point it out, tweet it out, and just let me know when it happens.
But if it happens, you will remember me, and you'll be like, I understand he's tilted. Like, okay.
You just see like a broken monitor on stage, and you're like, oh, it was that one.
Once you figure it out, like, it doesn't work, you know? And I learned it by the force.
God, I'm excited for this, because, you know, like, the cheeses, quote unquote, now that you see in like the eastern regions is X starts on blue, and the other junglers walks to his raptors and takes them. No ward, just takes his raptors, red crux, and all of a sudden your bot side's gone. You know, I've seen trundles flashing over dragon pits.
It's only cheese when it happens once or twice. You know, I feel like by the 30th time we saw that Scion start, it was just a strat. Like, we just knew. Second you saw Scion and draft on red side, you're like, here it comes.
It's coming.
Yeah.
And all the teams trying to defend it.
It's so funny. All the people trying to figure it out.
Just standing on the tower, and he's like, when are they diving?
That was Genji, no? I think that was
it was Genji. Doran was playing Ornn, and he was like sitting bot side, and they never did it.
He was like, he was another turret there.
But the problem is, you never knew if they were going to do it. So it's like, there's so many awkward
all the power
strats
was on the Scion team side.
Yeah, it's crazy that we've still got cheese. You know, it's like in season 6, season 7, you could cheese them. You know, like I remember there was a pathing where you're blue side and you're Lee Sin, you do red buff, and you ward jump over the wall that your support put over the dragon pit, and you kill him on his drum. And it's like, wow, that's the next level of cheese. But then we've still got it. Like, there's still more where you're like,
but that's the thing.
How
like,
the hell?
The problem is that right now there is so many cheeses that you need to be aware of many. Because this one still exists. But right now there is also the variation that I did, and I think Tian did. That is after your red buff with Sejuani. He did it with Vi. You just queue over the Drake's pit, and you go into enemy blue, you take a blue, you take a Gromp. I did it against Fnatic. I think Tian did it against Kanabi.
Yeah.
And it works because who expects that from a Vi or from a Sejuani? Who expects it?
Yeah, you have to basically use all 5 wards level 1.
That's the thing.
To stop any cheese.
If you use a ward,
and you waste so much.
Then you're not using it for your Raptor, so you might get 130 invaded. That's the thing, that you need to be aware of many possibilities right now in the game that it's not even like I wouldn't even consider it a cheese. Like I consider a cheese something that you can do one or twice, but once they figured you out, it doesn't work, and it has consequences. If it doesn't bring consequences, I don't believe it's a cheese. I believe it's like an invade or whatever.
Yeah, creative.
Because imagine that you do red buff and you jump over the Drake pit. What's the worst that can happen? That enemy jungler meets you there and he kicks you out. You have wasted, let's say, 15 seconds. You are fine in the game. But there is some other cheeses that if you get caught, you are not playing the game.
It's like level 1, no wards, flashing over Baron Pit to his red buff. Like, I'm going to start on his red buff. I want
like
Hex Flash. I'm playing
fiddlesticks, taking
Is he on his blue or is he on his red? We're about to find out.
That kind of things, that's what I consider a cheese. But the others I
love those ones, though. Like the flash over wall, I'm starting your red buff. Like,
them.
as a spectator, you're like, wow, this guy has just flipped a coin. If he's there, he's dead. If he's not there, he's just won the game for his team.
No country for old men, yo. You just flip this flash over the wall, dude. Just see what happens. You know what I mean?
It's like there's a 70% chance he starts blue buff on this like matchup in this jungle because he's on a path bot, and it's like flash over. I'll take his red. Oh crap!
Watching Dark Knight, it's a coin. He also flips it on a 50-50.
There's so much coin flips. Yeah. You never know, dude.
If it's in the movies, it's in the game.
This is you, man.
Yeah.
Talking about the last matchup that we haven't really hit yet. Actually, 2 more matchups. We have G2 Coin, Fnatic, SK. We've talked about G2 and Fnatic, at least from what we've seen on stage, as the most consistent teams in the league. Do you guys agree? Do you think there's a shot for Koi or SK to find the big upset?
I don't think so, but they can surprise us. I mean, I think Fnatic for sure is one-sided, I would say. I think Koi has a chance against G2, but I still think G2 will just win. But I think G2 will probably win like 2-1, something like that. But I think Fnatic will kind of stomp SK, yeah.
Yeah, I agree to that. I think Koi has a chance, but I think Fnatic is into SK, I think demolish them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree. I think Fnatic have been... I was surprised, actually, by how good Fnatic have looked this season in general. And I think that SK, while they did put up a very valiant effort to make it this far, I was really surprised when Astralis didn't make it in. I was very caught off guard.
Yeah.
Despite how shaky they were, I thought for sure, they'll figure it out in the next patch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think everyone's eyes this like summer is on XL and Fnatic because they don't have any championship points really.
Yeah.
And if they want to make it the top 6, they either have to go like top 2, top 3. So if they make it there, then our top 6 could look completely different to what it looks like now. Because I think, obviously G2 and Mad are locked.
What are vitality chances actually? Do you know?
I think
Very low.
I think XL needs to make top 3, or we need to kick out some team or something like that.
There's like 4 things, and 3 of them need to happen for them to go. It's
Well,
very low
If
chance.
you're curious, I think we're talking about it on the show this weekend. But there's I think there's a couple scenarios where they can go in, but basically they have 137 points because they got 7 points.
Yeah, 7 points for 10.
That's it. That's how many points that they have, and they're currently in 5th for championship points.
I mean, now I want to see Perks against Nisqy, after he just
let's go Perks versus Nisqy. Oh, we play back the clip. Perks is washed.
They need BDS and Koi to drop out, basically, I think, because they're really far ahead.
Yeah, BDS and Koi doing really poorly would be good. Yeah, there's a lot of really awkward things too. For example, so if you just bomb out of your group, you're 7th or 8th, and it's decided based on your regular season finish. So finishing high for some of these teams is going to be really important. But even though you both bomb out of your group, you're going to get more points depending on how you finished in the first best of 1 stage. So it's just going to be weird. Ultimately, yeah, they have 137 points, which means they really need SK. They just need SK. Even if SK could bomb out and then they're at 120. We're going to get into it.
It's
too much.
messy. It's really messy.
TLDRs, it's messy. Right now,
but there's a very high chance that, if Fnatic only come 4th, even with that roster that's been doing so, they might not even make the season finals.
Crazy,
can't go to World. Same for XL, if they finish 3rd in regular season, if they
need Fnatic, Heretics, XL, and SK, or at least most of those teams to just bomb out. Because Koi and BDS are guaranteed. Yeah, Koi and BDS are already guaranteed to finish above them. You guys are already locked. SK are close to them behind. So they need 4 of the 5 teams that are behind them in points to stay behind them. So they need Fnatic. If basically we assume Fnatic's going to do well, they need Heretics, XL, and SK to all just be awful, to just lose everything.
Worst thing is Fnatic's against SK, so they'll do.
There's a chance. I'm just saying there's a chance.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Okay.
It's a mess.
They
I don't
could,
think Vitalic's gonna be that.
They could replace you as the team that keeps qualifying for things that people aren't excited about.
They could take
their time to
They want
shine.
to take that spot. I'm free for them,
We'll cheer for them.
I wanna be the spectator for once.
But I will say the best thing so far from Vitality all year is that Bo smoking meme where it's where you're just standing there having a cigarette. That is a banger. That's going to be used for the next few years. That is so good. It can be used in so many contexts.
The actual, the true gift of this Vitality lineup. Man, Vitality.
Yeah,
we can do a quick hitting.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, like, man, all right. Like, their League of Legends division has to be the most cursed thing ever.
Yeah.
I'm not a superstitious sports fan. I get messages every week about the stupid Euphoria curse. I think it's totally fake. But you know what? With Vitality, I'll give it to you because I have watched every single Vitality roster explode. I have seen Hachani imported into just that roster exploding. I have seen the only roster they had that was good. They just bought an entire team from the Spanish league with Shizuke and Attila.
Talks about Vitality on the Euphoria podcast, the gang.
Yeah, get the. Actually, you know what? We'll make a Vitality bingo card. The Vitality Super Team bingo card.
Yep.
Because I don't know how many seasons we've said, hey, their laners are pretty good and they get big leads in the early game. But whoa, what's that? They're absolutely incapable of playing together, it would seem, and now everything's up in smoke again.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
Why does Vitality keep exploding, boys? You don't have to. If you don't know, you don't know. That's fine. Do you have any ideas?
I don't know at this point. I feel like they should. On paper, they're really good. I mean, on paper, they're really good, but somehow there's always something wrong and they can make it to playoffs or like they shit the bed, kinda. I think at this point, Neo, their owner, probably also doesn't know what to do, because he makes this team and is like, oh, nice, I got upset. Now I have like insane team, and then they don't make playoffs, and he's like, wow, what did I do?
What do I do now?
Yeah.
It's a sad state. I feel like they're good on paper is what Vitality fans say when they cry themselves to sleep at night. They're good on paper.
They wrote it down on a paper in there.
Please. Write it down, throw it in a wishing
Just like
well.
casting a spell. Come on, next hit.
Please. Yeah, hearts out of those players, man. That's a shit way to end the season, especially players with so much success historically.
Not yet, though. Maybe
not yet. There's a chance, and that's all that matters.
They might take the spot.
They might take the spot, and people.
Oh, sorry.
We might be upset. No,
I was
please.
just going to go through quick predictions then, because Nisqy said BDS. Did you also say BDS is going to win that
No,
series?
I think Heretics will win.
Okay, so we're split there. G2
Mad
Koi
XL,
or XL Mad.
I think XL will win.
I think
I'll
XL
go
will
with
win.
XL on that
XL?
one.
I'm going to say Mad still, despite
Whoa!
Despite what? Sorry?
the 5-game losing streak.
Oh.
And despite the 5-game losing streak. Despite the fact that you guys have told me a bunch of stuff that instills exactly zero confidence in your progression as a team. You have horrible scrims. You have there's ups, there's downs, but despite that, you do always seem to make it work on game day.
You know that thing that Caps once said to Perks, I'm going to smash him so hard he's going to think it's an international?
Yeah.
I think that could apply to Mad Lions if you think about it with the Nightmare Doomsday scenario. Because now you're on a 5-game losing streak and scrims suck. What if someone says that to you? What are you going to say back to them?
It's Europe. I know it's Europe, so you cannot convince me this is T1. I know I'm not playing T1.
His comeback has...
I just need to watch
and it's like, oh yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have the nameplates when you press tab as well?
I actually don't, but maybe I should. I should you put them on against.
You're like, oh my god, this.
And if you wanna bring the boxing thing against XL, I'm also down. But
I know exactly what's gonna happen. We're gonna go to the weekend. Mad XL, Yoyo's gonna be playing. There's gonna be a boxing glove on his desk while he's playing, and we're just gonna be casting it, being like,
I'm not sure if I wanna see Odown against Chase though.
Yeah, that's.
Maybe you can make it a tag team instead. Then instead of just pure 1v1.
Odoamne is a strong boy.
Yeah, he is right. But
I feel like Carsey could go to town on Odoamne though.
What?
Carzy?
Yeah. I feel like he's like a ball of energy who would just...
No.
Mark, I appreciate this, but...
Healy
I think,
could.
Healy would.
Didn't you take a boxing class? Do you understand how important
Can
size
you just say that
is?
again? A class?
A class. Did you take...
Perfect.
You took A class.
Yeah.
But do you understand what reach is?
Yeah,
you know the thing where like the little brother, the big brother puts his hand. You had a big brother, you know this.
Yeah, I know that
He
happens
puts
to
his
me,
hand on your forehead and you can't reach him.
Yeah.
That's Carzy versus Odoamne, bro.
Yeah, no.
No
but
disrespect to Carzy. Carzy can be a
Hilleside-
black belt in any martial art. This man is twice his size.
But he would just like write a fanfic about Odoamne, and then Odoamne would be like,
Yeah, that's a winning.
he would be like creeped out. He'd be like, I don't want to fight this guy. What the hell has he been writing? Just points at the old chat, I think. That's all I want to see.
Yeah.
Does he still do his old chatting? Does he ever do old chatting? Is he an
I
old
don't
chatting
think
guy?
he has never been.
No.
Is he a pre-lobby guy?
He's pre-lobby, yeah. He speaks so much, it's boring.
It's boring. It's same. He needs to get some more content. Like, is it
It's
same
so
stuff?
boring. Like in everyone, like everyone is his friend. Everyone is his friend. So like he talks to literally everyone. And like in your pre-lobby, while you're trying to focus before the game, you are reading how. Well, I cannot say these words. on
No,
broadcast,
don't
you know?
say it.
So you can imagine what he is talking about with everyone.
I need to get in more Mad Lions pregame lobbies.
Yeah,
No.
you do.
It's just, this is so funny to me. You're just like, you're just trying to be the best at what you do, and you're just on this. You're getting cheesed. Your AD carry's like
can tell you,
flirting with everyone in the
I have
pregame lobby
Many
chat.
people in the tournament real account blocked because then I don't see any message. And Kers is one of them.
Wait, what do you like, Nisqy, then? Do you type at all, or are you just like muting everyone?
I mean, depends who I'm against. I mean, usually against BDS, I write, for example, because I know them very well.
Yeah.
And I mean, if people write me, I write back, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not a mute all type of
Yeah.
person.
All right.
I think the funniest thing is like when someone writes something and then stares over the stage, waiting for the other person to like look at them. That's the funniest one. Because there's a caster, you're like standing at the desk and you can see people's heads like, and you're like, oh, they're writing to each
But
other.
lately, the meta has been that, like, after every single ban, you just look at the guy that you banned out, you know? So, like, for example, if people ban Gragas, there's already 3 or 4 people looking at me like this, you know? And I'm like, sure, guys, like, whatever. Like,
It's like
Oh
the
my God.
bathroom break meta. People missed out on this, but like teams had to go as 5 to the bathroom because they were afraid of being like intimidated by another
I mean,
team
the
of 5
G2
going to
the-
the bathroom.
Yeah.
G2 started that meta. They go to the bathroom as 5. And I'm
And they
like,
bully
what?
anyone that comes in.
Yeah, like, I
It's
need
so
to go,
funny.
guys.
But actually,
Because you see 5 people and like there is 2 ping, but the other are like
There's
this.
like 4 people outside
they're the
waiting.
bodyguards.
Like they are like this, and like you just leave the bathroom and you see 4 people like watching you like this, and it's like
Just
wow.
staring at you.
Anything for an edge, man.
But can you imagine like that drafting of staring at each other? If someone just gets 5 banned, it's just like 5 jungle bans, and you're
So,
sitting
like,
there. And
Adam.
the
So,
like,
whole
Adam.
Yeah, so like Adam.
Adam,
Do you
basically.
all just stare at him the whole draft?
all right. If you play BDS, you have to promise me that you'll sync your head turn. So you just, as the band just gives a 1, 2, 3, everybody turn and look at Adam same time. Just
Oh my god,
just
just
for the clip.
choreographed intense
It's
glares.
actually so funny if you do it.
That would be great.
So based on predictions thus far, we're split on Group A between Team Heretics and BDS. Feels like G2 are getting through. But very likely it seems like if you guys are able to beat Excel, which is our current prediction, despite you guys predicting Excel, crazy, playing up against Fnatic. I feel like that's going to be the first like really big challenge in best of 3s for
Yeah.
you. And again, this is giving you the benefit of the doubt versus Excel.
Yeah.
Based on recent performance, you guys could blow up and I could look like an asshole
On
for
which recent performance?
all 5 of the games you
those
lost.
5
Which
games.
one? Or the MSI? What one? There's
Did you know
good
they
ones
lost 5 games in
too.
a row?
Wait, how many did we lose?
5. Just be consistent.
Well, I think that match will be really
It's kind of Chad though. It's like win 4 games, qualify no matter what, lose the next 5.
Yes.
Is it?
It's like
Yeah, I don't think it's very chat. I think it's more the nightmare again. You know?
I'm with Elyoya on this one. I think
when does the light come back then? For the Excel
comes back
series?
now.
No, it's Axel.
Yeah, it's
Axel is
Axel.
right.
Oh, so you just spike at the right times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
I hope so.
But Fnatic first. I mean, Fnatic I feel like have been pretty solid. I think the addition of Trimby seems like it's freed up Razork a lot. And it's crazy because we kind of come full circle because when you joined the league, you were like looking up to Razork a little bit. I think is another big, obviously pretty successful Spanish jungler at that point on Misfits. That was one of his better splits, I think, when you joined.
yeah,
Then you were like king of the castle. And I still think you're one of the best. Do we think Elyoya is the best right now? I don't want to build your ego too much.
Oh, he's all right.
He's
I think. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna get called everything, but I think I'm the best. I don't think I've been performing the best this split though. I think Razork actually has been performing really well, and he has been the best performing jungler this split for sure. I think not only him, I think Oscar has also had a really good performance, and
Yep.
Trimby. I think these 3 members in Fnatic have been carrying Fnatic really, really hard. Like, I've been really surprised if I say someone, I think by Oscar, because I know how good he is, because he's one of my best friends, so I always knew how good he is. But I think, for example, in last split, he didn't show. He was really bad. And I'm honest. I think he was one of the reasons why Fnatic didn't win against us. I think he played really best in the series against us.
I feel like the spotlight going off of him towards bot lane really helped him because everyone was like, Oscar's here. Like, how's Oscar going to do? Oh, he's inting again. Oh, Oscar's griefing. Oscar's griefing.
I mean, we
And
talked
then Noah
about that.
Trimby come in. Everyone's like, oh, new bot lane. And Oscar is just like, thank God. Not
Yeah.
People just stop staring at every single last
Well,
creep.
also
think
people
it's
were
that.
bullying. Like when he joined, people were like, "Oh, we're going top." Like I remember it's that first week where he
Yeah.
just died a million times. Every single team did the same thing. They put him on some shitty matchup and they just went top.
But props to
Oh.
Fnatic for like not just dropping him. You know, they were like, we
Yeah.
believe in him. And then, now it's paying off. He practices, has a good off season.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's not only that, the fact that Razork is playing better, it has also like allowed him to shine way more. So yeah, I think against Fnatic actually, the jungle top will be really decisive. And I think Trimby has been playing really well. Like, I think Trimby, how he was playing in Co is way different to how he's playing right now. I remember one Thresh game he had in which he carried that game like crazy with his hooks. Like, he was hooking everyone. Like, that's the thing. When I feel about Fnatic, I think they have really strong players, but like, it comes to like each game, one player steps up. Like, I know Razor has stepped in many.
Yeah.
Oscar against us, he made fun of Karzi. Let's be honest. Like, he literally made fun of Karzi with like the Casante. I can think of Trimby having really good games. Noah also had some great games. I think Humanoid is, and it hurts me because I like him a lot. I think he's the one that hasn't had these performances yet. But I know when playoffs come, he's way better.
I mean, he's been pretty consistent. I mean, he's had a couple games here or there where he's been like griefing.
No, he's been playing good. Like, he's been playing fine. But I can't think of a game in which he has excelled, in which he has like completely 1v9.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, I'm saying he's playing good.
Yeah, for sure.
But also knowing Humanoid, he's a playoffs guy. So maybe now is when he steps up.
He'll level it up. I like the Xerath though. That was pretty fun towards the end of the season.
It's
a new pick.
I like that as well.
I like that he's busting new stuff out.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's best of ones. And
you got to try stuff.
Yeah.
You got to mix it up. Good
Yeah.
scoreline, even if the game didn't ultimately go in their favor. And frankly, I'm ready for a new meta. So I think Mad Fnatic is actually, if you guys do go through, it's just like the first series that I'm like, hell yeah. I think you guys just innately have the tougher group, just because you're both there. And if I look at you guys as a potential top 4 team, and I do, despite your recent performances, still see you guys as a top 4 team. Whereas on the opposite side, again, I think the top 3 right now, I have to keep saying, if I give you the benefit of the doubt, which I am, is you guys, Fnatic, and G2. And after that, it's like, who knows? Like, I think there's a gap, if I'm honest. And you can... I have to keep saying this, I'm going to get roasted by every single person.
Did you know they're on a 5-game losing streak?
No, and it's not just that. It's because you guys, sometimes you're the best team in our league, and sometimes you guys are terrible. And I wish I knew when I was going to get what I was going to get. I wish I knew. Yeah. Thanks. Makes me feel more confident. But I think you guys, as innately are just in the stronger group right now. And so I'm curious to see how the other group will shake out. But I think the other big change this week, 2 patches, 13-12, 13-13, 13.
Yeah.
Ivern, Rel Jungle, Rek'Sai. Mid lane seems like still some...
Rek'Sai got nerfed.
Rek'Sai got nerfed on 13-13, right? But she's still stronger overall.
I feel like
she's still strong.
Isn't Gale Force also like on 13-12, was it? They got nerfed and like people stopped playing with Gale Force or something. 13, and now they're playing 13, like Xayah, super high prio. I don't know.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about the patch? Gragas. Oh, I'm so sorry. Gragas passive from 8 seconds to 12 seconds. That feels terrible.
It's fine.
You'll just make it work? That feels bro, that's so...
It's like, when a champion is like unbalanced,
but
then they like put 4 seconds on his passive, and then everyone thinks it's like that champ, but it's actually not. It's just a bit worse. But then at the end is the same champ, right? I think that's what will happen.
Nerf, though, dude.
For
that
lane,
passive
for
is
lane, I agree.
Busted. That passive is so
it was kind of unbalanced. Yeah, like
you got 50 health every 8 seconds in lane with just a Doran's ring, bro. That passive was so messed up.
It was like 30 mana actually.
30 mana W perma. But new patch. I think it's good. Also, like the interesting thing for us is that we're the first game of the LEC, so maybe we'll have like a completely wrong read on the meta.
Yeah.
And then people, what are these guys picking, compared to like, I think G2 plays on the second day, for example.
Yeah.
So people can look and figure out whatever the scrim meta is.
I guess the nice thing is I don't know if I'm right in saying this, but most of the time when a new patch comes, I feel like Europe's normally the first to play it and LPL and LCK are like lagging behind every now and then. And now it's like you're coming in with a lot of data from LPL and LCK.
I mean, the thing is that LPL, I think, was supposed to play on 13.
They had a big issue.
Then there was a problem, so they played on 12. So
Yeah.
I don't know today or tomorrow.
Didn't
13-12 was
LCS
also...
play on 13-13 already?
LCS?
I don't know.
Not that I'm saying they're like the pinnacle of meta things, but obviously like you can get...
I feel like I saw Rel Jungle
I'll just
somewhere.
check right now.
No, but
shout out
maybe.
Game of Legends, by the
Rel
way.
has been in 13.12. Like on 13.13, I mean, it's still bad. On 13.12, it's already playable.
Wait, 13-13 is where the Ivern got nerfed, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Ivern got nerfed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like...
And Aphelios got nerfed too.
LCS?
Yeah.
So the AD meta kind of
And
changed a little bit.
Wukong,
And Static Shift and all that stuff.
Rek'Sai.
Okay.
Wukong
So yeah, you don't have as much
and
information.
Static, actually.
Yeah, Static got
Yes.
nerfed. I guess you don't have as
Vi.
much information as I thought. Never mind.
Static
It's just the
nerfed.
jungle champs, I guess.
Yeah.
Lee Sin's back.
Nidalee also buff.
Is Leeson back or is it?
I mean, Leeson is back, yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, they're
That's what I like
13-13.
to hear.
They already played on 13-13. But it looked very samey. Still a lot. Tristana's the other pick that like jumped up a
Oh
bunch.
yeah,
But
I
that
feel like
might
this
be
this Tristana mid has been
Poppy, very big.
popping off everywhere. I don't know if the static changes hurt or anything, but like
see if
Xiaohu
the
was playing a
are.
lot, and then they played like AP bots with like
Yeah.
Varus, Ziggs.
Kasante still
That's
getting
the
played.
thing, that right now getting AP bots with the static like on Kai'Sa, on Varus, on all these
Kai'Sa.
champs, it's just easy.
Yeah.
So you can put this Tristana anytime. And with the Ivern buff, then you have a strong comp.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. Ivern, Tristana, Kai'Sa.
That's the thing, they were like banning this.
Are you ready for the new jungle meta? I feel like you're always ready, but I've gotten used to seeing you
Oh,
in meta.
my Ivern is more than ready. You are not. You will see.
I'm not ready.
Exactly.
I'm not ready.
You are
I'm not ready
definitely
either.
Ready for my Ivern.
I'm not. Mostly because I haven't even read the rework yet, because I just haven't needed to until now.
Did Ivern nerfs on 13-13 then like re-kill him, or is he like fine?
No. It was more of the AP version of the Ivern.
Yeah, like the Witsen.
Yeah, no,
not Witsen.
Witsen?
Sorry,
The
Nashor's
Nashor's
Tooth.
thing. no?
Dry Lice, Nashor's Tooth,
Yeah.
Night Harvester,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
kind of version. They reduce like the on-hit damage on the ultimate, like
Yeah,
in something else I can't remember right now, but it was
It's-
mostly the AP version.
interesting.
Do you guys are you already cooking up anything spicy? You guys, I don't always look at you guys as the spicy picks team, but you guys occasionally figure out your angles. Is there
Who is the spicy?
G2, I guess?
Yeah, for sure.
You could say Adam, but like now we've kind of seen the full gambit of Adam picks. But
Yeah,
there was a
it's
Garen in
for
there at
sure
one
G2
point.
actually.
Astralis
Yeah.
also likes to cook, but farewell.
Actually,
Farewell.
Yeah, rest in peace, Astralis. They also
Or
like
is
to
it
cook.
cooking if you just play a different meta to everyone else?
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
Because usually people just play whatever the meta is. So if you play
Yeah.
new stuff that's not meta, then it's
Yeah.
like
Crowning cooks on occasion.
But they do it all the time. You know, it's not like, oh, a new pick. It's like, oh yeah, Zed.
yeah.
They're actually just a different restaurant.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just like you know what you're getting. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, it's all different for them. But it didn't work.
didn't work. I'm
Sadly.
still sad about Astralis.
Yeah.
Sad.
Sucks. But it would have sucked for someone else if it didn't suck for Astralis, and that's just the way that things work out. Yeah, is there anything you're looking for, Mr. Streamer Enthusiast, Mr. 2v2? Is there
You always
anything-
call me a
2v2.
streamer now.
Do you play 2v2?
Yeah, I'm sick at 2v2.
No, it's just because you play a lot, so I
Yeah,
trust your
No,
area
I
of
haven't been
and you
playing
don't scrim, so
solo
your
queue.
expertise here is that's just
I've just been watching a lot of League and then playing lots of 2v2 on the PvE, but it's out in a couple of weeks. But that game mode is pure
In
degenerate.
7 days, exactly.
In 7, that game mode needs to
I'm
be fixed.
so excited for that.
I need to know actually if a lot of pros will actually play the game or like if
Bro,
the pro players will just
It's
still
like,
play
you know,
solo
when the
queue,
Shy won Worlds and in the interview, they were like, how many solo games you play? He says, I just play ARM.
Yeah.
Bro, that's it. If you want to win Worlds, just play 2v2. Like that game,
Oh, thanks,
mechanically,
actually.
for mechanics, that is sick. It's almost like you're playing a custom game and you spawn with 3
I mean, the
items
only
and just
problem-
go.
Well,
Is
it's
that-
not the same because there is plants.
Yeah,
You
there's
have
like
to-
plants and
It
stuff as
involves
well.
you playing around the shields. And
Yeah, I mean, the
everything, so
champions,
it's-
but like mechanics-wise, it's like good practice, I think.
But also you play against worse players. I mean,
And
for
also
the first X
the
amount of games, I
augments,
guess.
you know. But it,
On
and-
live, you should be
yeah.
able to climb up. But there's definitely some things where there's like, it's just inhuman levels of things. If you pick a champ and get a specific role on an augment,
Yeah.
GG.
No, I look forward to some pro player being like, yeah, I just play ARAM all year. And then it turns out he's just been playing Bard in ARAM, and you have like plus 20% damage done, minus 20% damage taken, picks it on stage, feeds instantly because
Yep.
he does no damage and takes 1,000,000 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the ARAM for pro play ship might have sailed when they started more aggressively
There's always-
balancing ARAM.
There's always that player, you know, like last year, Barrel's solo queue account had like 9 games on it. He just didn't play it.
That's crazy.
He just wins Worlds. And it's like, you look at tracking the pros, least games played, I think it was Barrel. He was
Yeah,
just
but
sitting
at the
there.
same time, they are screaming pretty much all day.
Yeah.
So it's not like
Yeah, they scream all the time.
sure. I mean, you can put the solo queue and it adds up, but it's not needed if you are screaming. Let's say 10 games a day. You know.
Yeah, but then you have the other personality type that's like, yeah, I'm going to get rank 1. Like Canyon Showmaker
No,
come
yeah,
to
yeah,
EU
for
and they're like,
sure,
boom.
for Yeah.
All right. Last question for the day before we let you guys go and get to your very important, very serious, very professional scrims. Let's talk about who's the 4th best team. I want just predictions of, let's say, who's going to make top 4.
No.
If we can bring the bracket back up, Phil. So, Fnatic Mad, boom. We assume you guys are both making it through the top 4. G2 making it through the top 4. Who is joining from Group A? Who's going to be the 4th top 4 team, 4th best team? Who is actually making it?
I think for me it's between BDS and Koi, but I'm not sure.
You have
Which
more.
one?
You have more faith in BDS than your comrade
I do,
here.
yeah.
How do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you Team Heretics believer here? Because it's really hard for me to decide. Like without actually seeing any of the best of 3s, I just have no idea between the patch and between shaky performances from just about everybody in the regular season.
I think Team Heretics will take it, but as I was saying, it's like whoever has the good day on that day will win. And I think the 4th will come between I think Koi will be, actually. I think out of those teams, I think they've been looking the best. So I think, Koi will take it.
In the long run, Koi will take it.
I think so.
I'm on the Heretics train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to believe in Heretics just because Yankos and Flackett talk shit to each other so much, and I find it very entertaining. But I just have zero idea. I feel like there's also a chance that BDS could just get away with doing exactly the same thing. I don't know.
Adaming?
With Adaming, Adaming, and then Crowny gets 3 items and they win the game, and Nuke plays a control mage.
Yep.
Not Syndra.
What has Nuke been playing this with, actually? Let me have a look. I swear I saw it.
Tristana is meta as well, so it makes sense for Koi to
true.
Larson does love his AD
carries.
Yeah, no, he's been playing mostly mages, yeah. I wonder how the meta shake-up will affect teams.
I mean,
because basically, I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, but like Vi, Wukong are kind of like dropping a lot.
Yeah, they got hit.
Is there another one that's dropping as well?
I mean, Rex and Kindred were the other 2 that also got hit, but those 2 were not as dominant.
Is it going to be tank jungle slave meta now? With like Sejuani, Ivor, and
I
Rel?
think so.
I don't know if Rel's going to play, but just
I think so.
If it's tank jungle slave meta,
I'm just excited for new champs, bro. I've been casting the same meta for I've been casting the same meta for a year. Oh my god, by Wukong.
Wait, did Maokai get nerfed?
I'm also done watching European.
No, Maokai didn't get touched.
Maokai didn't get nerfed?
No. And same for Sejuani. Sejuani didn't get touched. Poppy didn't get touched.
Okay, we're chilling then. We're chilling in the...
I feel like Poppy is
Poppy's
so strong now.
Yeah, that champ's OP. I'm convinced.
Anyway.
We're ranting.
Gentlemen, you guys are up first. This Saturday, 5:30 is the start for Ready Check, 6 p.m. for your games. Best of 3 that you're obviously going to show up for and be really good. Otherwise, we'll look like calling you a top 4 team. In the
Even after our recent performances?
Even after your 5-game losing streak, Elyoya. Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are still confident. I mean, I guess you have to be, but...
Actually, what you mean?
You're just going to sneak that in there in the final
just lose hope.
I'm glad you guys are
come
still...
on the podcast and be like, yeah, we're going to lose. Yeah,
it's over.
Things that we're confident, but then imagine we just lose, It's like quick 0-2.
So
we're completely running it.
And then it's like, but we wanted a 7-game losing streak. And then you win the losers
That's
bracket.
The thing. We are always going to make it as interesting as possible for you guys.
Just for us. You're doing it for us. Well, thank you. And now I would like you to stop. Please be so good that it's uninteresting. Okay. That's what I would like.
No more content.
No more content. Anyway, this has been episode 17 of the EUphoria podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Again, best of 3 weeks starting this week. It's the winners matches on Monday, so we'll keep that schedule updated for you as we go. And thanks again for joining, guys. Good to hear about Mad Lions. And as frustrating as a team as you are to commentate over or set expectations for, I'm glad to hear that you're not worried whatsoever about your... Five-game losing streak? Yeah. There we go. That's the word.
Or their 4-game winning streak.
Or their 4-game...
Wait, we won?
Is the glass half full or half empty? Did they win 4 games or did they lose 5 in a row?
Those are 2 separate things that both happened. It's not an or. It's and.
No, you could say...
I like to try, though. I like to try.
Yeah, you can find positivity in it somewhere.
Thank you.
Good effort.
You can find it somewhere.
Thank you, caedrel. And with that,
we can win 4 games in a row
again. End on that. Just fade us out there. Good effort. Good effort, caedrel.
All you have to do is 2 now.
Yeah.
So you have to do half as good as you did at the start of the split.
No, I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
Because they won 4, they have to win 2.
That's it. The podcast is over. Okay. You can stop that.